8:38, Nashville's Morning News on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Time for the gang of uno, dos, that's five. We got five amigos here.
Cinco
de... It's going well.
Cinco de Dano.
Cinco de Dano, sure. Matt Murphy's here. Chris Hand is here.
What's up?
Hello. I'm here.
Hi.
Jeff is here. And
Yes.
Jay Harper is here as well. Now, yeah, that's five. Brought to you by My Patriot Supply and preparewithmandis.com. By the way, I liked Matt Murphy when you made up the name for young Jeff here. Jeff Mouthing Off.
Mm-hmm.
That's good.
I don't know.
I thought that it would be good to call him Jeff Nodding Off because he was
for the morning show
here. Yeah, for the morning show because it's it starts 5 o'clock. That's early.
So
actually.
Mac gets Mac Attack, and I get Jeff Nodding Off or Mouthing Off.
Yep.
That's right.
That tracks.
Welcome to WTN.
I gotta really start reading the contract you guys gave me.
It wasn't a contract. It was just an agreement. I thought we decided yesterday no last names because it's too Russian.
That's true.
That's right. Yeah, and
Jeff's last name
I
is
got
way
a
too
text,
Russian.
It's too Russian.
Too Russian.
and I got a text from someone going, "Oh, so you're a Russian agent now? I knew it." And I went, "Oh no."
So you guys deemed the Jeff too Russian? His last
Way
name?
too
Malinov.
Russian. Way too Russian.
It'd be better if it was Jeff Smirnoff.
Yeah, it's like the kids making vodka back there.
I love it. That's actually very funny. All right, very good. Again, Jeff, welcome to WTN. And by the way, by the way, just so you know, when Chris said not contracts, it's just an agreement. Agreement also has to be in air quotes. Because that's how we roll.
Da.
Anyway, so...
we agreed that your key card will work until such time that we turn it off.
Yep.
It's kind of funny because little behind-the-scenes hilarity. I am looking at my phone. Of course, doing research is what I was doing. I look up, and there is Johnny B., Matt Murphy, and Chris Hand. Their cameras are pointed right at me. And I'm like, what the heck are they doing? And you're sitting there, just, I guess, taking a photo of me while I'm looking at my phone.
Through the window.
I'm not entirely certain. I'm just going to be honest with you. I'm usually the one that creeps other people out. I found that a little creepy.
You in your natural state.
It was Dan in the wild.
Mandis in repose.
There you go. That's exactly right. Did you actually take a photo?
I'm posting it right now on my X machine.
You are?
At Matt Murphy
Should you
Show.
maybe ask permission from the guy whose photo was taken?
No.
I better look good.
Define good.
Well, you know what?
You look great.
With me,
you
it's
look
a little
fat.
difficult.
I mean, you look good. You look tough.
Do I look?
You look ready for a fight. I'm not kidding. You look ready for a fight.
Really?
Yes.
Okay. How odd is it, by the way, that I look ready for a fight, but if you watch the WTN TV, Chris is all preppy dressed today.
My wife says every time you wear this shirt, Dan makes fun of you.
I do. You don't.
She said, I like that shirt. Every time you wear it, Dan makes fun of you. I said, that's fair.
Just like the 80s called. They want their shirts back.
This is a nice shirt.
That it is. It is a nice shirt.
Okay, you're going to make fun of my shirt and you see the shirt Murphy's wearing?
I got nothing.
Yeah, but see, Murphy, that is like Matt's personality.
Thank you very much.
Camp
that's shirt just action. Wagons and horses, cowboys.
You've got a big remote coming up today.
I do.
Which is why you're
at
here.
Tim's Ford Lake.
Yes.
It's going to be big. It's going to be huge. And I don't know how long it's going to take me to get there. Have you gone?
Oh, yeah. I love that place.
What is this Tim's Ford Lake?
It's we're down at a marina at Tim's Ford Lake. More coming up when I have the copy points in front of me. But
that's so funny.
the excitement will just build until 12 o'clock. It all will be revealed.
Details to come.
Details to come. Details on the way.
I think you're going to. I don't know.
Hold on. I can tell you.
I think you're going to Twin Creeks, but I don't, or Tennessee National. I don't know.
I believe
but
yes,
let me tell you
those
something.
two things sound familiar.
Yeah, where because I've done that before, and it's a great time, and it's beautiful out there.
I'm going to try to get on a boat while doing the radio show. That's my goal today.
Really?
It's going to be a little odd given the news cycle of the last 12 to 24 hours.
I was going to say
that I'm in such a serene location in a beautiful serenic setting with the
Sure.
lake in the background and the water in the background, and you can hear the kids having fun off in the distance, and I'm thinking, oh, the country's going to hell in a handbasket, and look, how beautiful.
You're going to scare you. Why is that man at the table yelling over there, Mom?
That's exactly right.
He's not talking to anybody. He just has headphones on, and he's
And he's
screaming.
just screaming. His face is all red.
Mama, who's Alvin Bragg?
It's okay. Just look the other way. Let's see. You brought something for this.
Yes, the media's dove headfirst into the convicted felon talking points, and we know this is all what this has been about, to label Trump a convicted felon.
Donald Trump is a convicted felon.
A convicted felon, convicted felon, a convicted felon, a convicted felon.
Convicted felon. Convicted felon.
A convicted felon. A convicted felon.
Convicted as a felon.
Convicted felon.
He is now a convicted felon.
Convicted felon.
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 Is that a picture that they're going to be proud to show their grandkids someday? That they're standing behind a convicted felon?
So apparently they want to brand Donald Trump as a convicted felon.
That's what they want. And for the record, I'm going to be so proud to say I stood behind a convicted felon to my grandkids one day. I'm all in.
You know, it is interesting because they're so proud of this moment. And I don't believe that the Democrats or the media, you can hear sort of the gleam in their eye. You know what I mean? They're excited about this.
Yep.
And the problem is that, and I don't know, Murphy Show, if you have anything on this, I'm sure you do. Do you think this is going to backfire on the Democrats and Joe Biden?
I don't think any of this will matter nearly as much as we think that it will today when all is said and done. I think November 5th will be about people's wallets and how their lives have changed for the worse over the last 3.5 years under Joe Biden. I do think that there'll be some clapback over the next several weeks. But sadly, I think their goal is to get after the 5% or 10% of the American people that don't pay any attention to any of this until 3 weeks before an election.
I think that it's already backfiring. I mean, you see the donation website crashing. You see the spike on Google search on how to donate to Trump. No spike on how to donate to Biden. You've had Turning Point Action is out there getting $1 million donations, and that's going to be used to staff ground support in key swing states like Wisconsin, Michigan, Arizona. It's going to directly result in boots on the ground to go out and get the vote in November. It's already backfiring.
Right, and what the Democrats will counter with, and I'm not saying I support it or defend it, but what they will do in September and October, they will run the ads saying, you cannot vote for a convicted felon. And those are what the ads are going to say. They're going to say, you cannot vote for a convicted felon. And you and I and Dan will sit here and go, no, that's not true. And we'll go through all of the reasons why it's not true. And they don't care because they're looking for stupid people to believe them.
Well, see, and that's what I was talking about earlier, which is, and I talk about this all the time, the three of us, we are in a hyper political sort of bubble. I mean, we are, and I will fully admit that. I don't know what it's like to be able to sit around and just kind of passively consume the news. I don't know what those people that you're talking about, Matt, I don't know what they're thinking, because unfortunately, the only person I know that's like that is my daughter. And she's like, Dad, what in the world is going on? And I have to explain the whole thing to her. And when I, of course, give my very conservative bent on it, I explain it to her, and she's like, wow, that's effed up.
But to those people, this one doesn't mean any more than the E. Jean Carroll one. This one doesn't mean any more than the Letitia James.
I think it does.
You think so?
We just played the clip as to why it does. They get to say convicted felon. That for those people that aren't paying attention, they're going to not insinuate. They're going to tell them, you cannot vote for a convicted felon for president of the United States. And that rings true to stupid people. And by stupid people, I mean people who are intentionally not absorbing the news and intentionally not informed as to what's going on. I had somebody, and these aren't bad people. I had someone call me yesterday afternoon and ask me, and they were being dead serious, to your point, Dan, like, hey, what is going on? And I'm like, what do you mean what's going on?
Are you serious?
Yes. Dan, most of the country doesn't know what's going on. When you start from the beginning, and this is what's frightening to me, when you start from the beginning and you try to explain it to them, it's difficult to explain it to them. It's like, well, Donald Trump, what was he convicted of? That was the question.
Yeah.
What was he convicted of? Well, it's 34 counts of falsifying record keeping. And then you start going down the rabbit hole, and I can hear the person on the other end of the phone giving up.
Yeah.
Right? It's like I can hear them fading off. Like, okay, I'm sorry I asked this question to begin with. And that's what the Democrats depend on. They depend on that ignorant voter that hears convicted felon and just runs off and votes for the other guy. And I mean, it's sad to say, but true, I think.
I guess my question is, somebody called up this radio station to ask what's going on.
No, called my cell phone. This was a personal friend of mine.
Oh, this was a friend of yours?
Yes. And said, hey,
okay.
what is, I'm just trying to get up to speed here. And I'm sitting on the phone going, and why am I your friend? If you're not.
Well, that's exactly right. And that's why when you get phone calls from friends or, you get phone calls from family members, you're right. You start going down that rabbit hole and, we know this like the back of our hand, and we go with the assumption that people that listen to us are keeping up day in and day out, because it is a rabbit hole, and you start from the beginning and then you give all of the other context around it. It's like, I feel like the guy in my robes screaming, on my front lawn.
Well, and I think that's part of the design behind the Democrats' play here, is that if they get the guilty verdict, they are attempting to beat us down as well, because they understand that and I'm not trying to be hyperbolic, the United States of America depends on us in that we explain these things over and over again to the point that the American people absorb it and hear it. And we have to say it 1,000 times in order for them to hear it once oftentimes.
Yep.
But they want to beat us down. And I was I got a little low last night, but I was very frustrated. And it was from the idea that out of 12 people, even in New York City, you didn't have one fighter. You didn't have, because the verdict coming in yesterday, the way that it did, indicates to me that you didn't have a fighter in that room.
But I think that's what the left wants. They want you demoralized.
That's
they
right.
want you depressed. They want you at that low vibration so that way you're easier to control.
Yep.
And I refuse to buy into that narrative. I'm feeling better than I felt in a while about our chances in November, regardless of this outcome. And I'm not going to let any dark, doomy talking points, say otherwise.
I don't know. I'm feeling pretty good. I mean, I really am. I think that I think that Mershon did us or Trump supporters a favor because of the way that he executed this trial. And so I think that he handed everybody talking points. And so, for me, I understand why the left is declaring victory, but I also understand that for the right, we have a lot of things to say about this, and a lot of them point to how unfair this two-tier justice system is.
The funniest thing is it's hush money. Thomas Massey tweeted out this morning at 4:30 a.m. An old CNN article from 2017 where congressmen paid $17 million of taxpayer money for undisclosed hush payments to cover up sexual harassment claims. Like, it is a two-tier system. It's a big club.
Well, was it Jennifer Flowers or Paula Jones that held up the check, right? This was years and years ago with Bill Clinton. Like, literally held up the check that they were paid $850,000 in order not to go public with their story. And that's exactly the accusation being made here. But, once again, I don't think it's us. I don't think it's our listeners. Our listeners are the smartest people on planet Earth.
Yep.
It's those that don't pay attention, and I don't blame them. People have busy lives, etc. I just want them to get the truth, and we need to be available to them to get them the truth when the time comes.
Matt, the uninformed voter that you're referring to, do you determine that there's a particular age group, perhaps, that's more prone to be that way?
Yeah, I mean, the younger generation doesn't pay nearly as much attention. Although I don't know,
I would
say millennials.
I would push back on that though, because the younger generation isn't getting their news from mainstream media. The younger generation is breaking through that ecosystem and getting it on social media, and they're finding their thought leaders and they're listening to people that they trust, and they don't trust the mainstream news.
I don't know. It's such an a la carte selection on social media, though. I don't know that I could give an assessment as to what I think a millennial's X machine is a lot different than Matt Murphy's X machine, different than Dan Mandis's, different. You know what I mean? So I don't know what they're getting. I'm hoping they get the truth. I mean that's what we have on our side, though.
But
right?
I'm technically in the millennial group.
You're different, though, Hand. I mean, look at you.
But I go to a lot. I don't know, man. I go to a lot of.
Is that a compliment or an insult?
Well, yes, it's a compliment.
Look at you.
Look at
With your faded plaid shirt.
Most of the conservative events I go to are youth focused. These kids are smart. These kids are smart.
Yeah, but is that emblematic of all younger adults and teenagers?
I think that probably not, but I think that we can say that all younger adults and teenagers have shied away from mainstream media.
The best thing we got going.
True.
I think the best thing we've got going for us. I mean, obviously we got Donald Trump going for us, and this does rally. I think this rallies people that recognize what has been going on. But the best thing we got going for us at this point is Joe Biden. Honestly, I mean, I hate to put it that way, but it really is.
You're right, and you were the one that said a long time ago. You said that you didn't want the Republicans to impeach Joe Biden because he's a train wreck.
No, we need him.
Yeah.
The worst thing that could happen to the American people right now is the Democrats realize they have to replace Joe Biden.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Did you guys see the billboard?
I have not seen the billboard yet. Have you seen it?
The billboard.
Did
they do the one with the hair?
I saw a billboard. No.
Did they do the one with the hair?
No, I put the kibosh on that.
That's unfortunate.
I was driving in 40 westbound right before 24. There is a big billboard there, and there's me with my shiny head and all my glory. And there is...
Is that why there's been an uptick in accidents?
Absolutely. People are blinded by the light.
Because of the head?
almost actually pulled that blinded by the light, but I thought nobody would get that.
I think you're the only one that notices it, Dan. I think you look great.
Well, in any event, the billboard is up, 40 westbound. I think they know how I come into work. And so in kind of a kiss-assery moment, they put it up right knowing that I take 40 westbound into work.
Man, it almost sounds like Matt's got a man crush.
I mean, a Mandis crush. I'm writing that down. I like that. I like that phraseology.
Mandis crush. That's
I like
good.
that phraseology.
What's that?
Kiss-assery.
You like that? Kiss-assery?
That's good.